loner who got fired from his job after experiencing the discrimination that comes with being from a low-class family. Hoping to be more powerful, he explores a hidden dungeon, determined to be the strongest hero in the world. Before this, Nor wakes up excitedly, prepared to begin his new job as a librarian because he has decided to pursue a career instead of going to high school. The moment Nor steps out to the living room, he sees his father bowing in front of him and his mother crying. They inform him that he would not be able to work as a librarian because a higher-class nobleman's son got it instead. Disappointed, Nor tells his father to rise up as he does not respect him.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
But he begins to think about what he would do. At that moment, his younger sister Alice comes in angrily to ask who took her brother's position, but she also feels sorry for him. She hugs him by pressing her melons against his chest.
Did you pray today?
Telling him to take the Hero Academy's entrance examination. Nor thinks about his sister's suggestion and tells her that a lowlife like himself would not be able to pass. Hearing this, Alice encourages him to go for the exam and promises to take care of him even if he fails. Later, having accepted to go for the examination, Nor leaves the house. As he walks through the streets, he suddenly hears his name. Looking back, all he sees are two huge cannons coming his way. He realizes these beauties belong to his childhood friend, Emma. Even though Emma was born into a higher noble class, their families have been friends. When Emma catches up with Nor, she tells him how excited she is for them to both start their work as a librarian. However, when Nor breaks the news to her, she becomes angry and disappointed. He sees how her mood changes and tries to cheer her up. Then she tells him of the good news she has on how he would be able to use his skill. Hearing this, Nor recounts how only his skill is the Great Sage skill, which allows him to know few things about the present and the future, as he has an access to ask the Great Sage any question. However, Nor is not able to use the power because, after summoning the Great Sage, he would have a huge headache, which would make him wish for death. But Emma tells him she found a passage which states that anytime the Great Sage of old get a terrible headache from his skill, he would demand kisses from his wives. Hearing this, Nor becomes confused, but Emma tells him it must be the way the old sage avoided the headaches caused by his skill. Then she also asks him if he wants to try it, and he agrees. Emma suggests they go to a private place to try it, and soon they go to a secluded place, and on getting there, they kiss.
Yep.
During this moment, Nor uses his skill to ask the Great Sage how he can become stronger to pass the entrance exam, and the sage tells him to explore a hidden dungeon not far from him, and he would be able to defeat some monsters to get strong. After using his skill, Nor gets the headache as usual and suddenly kisses Emma. She becomes embarrassed, but he continues to kiss her, with the excuse that his headache is not gone yet. Nor looks for the dungeon and goes there alone, and with the help of the spell given to him by the Great Sage, he is able to enter the dungeon. Inside, he suddenly hears a voice that continues to direct him to the second floor, where he sees a lady tied down with chains with her eyes closed. Nor looks at the lady who has beautiful rice cakes. He becomes scared but realizes that she is the owner of the voice that has been directing him. There, she tells him to touch her forehead, which when he does, he is able to look into her past where she introduces herself as Olivia and explains how she got trapped with the chains while trying to conquer the dungeon. She also tells him that the chains are cursed, and if anyone tries to remove the chains from her body, she would die. Also, she adds that she has been stuck in the dungeon for 200 years, without thinking she would be able to see someone who would hear and talk to her. She asks about what he is doing in the dungeon, and when he explains why he needs to be stronger, she promises to give him her skill, because she would not be using it anyways. Then she tells him to place his forehead on hers so as to pass him her skills, which he did, leading his mind to be at peace. Olivia tells him to address her as his master, and explains that he now has a creative skill, a bestow skill and an editor skill, which he can use to create, take or remove anything he wishes to, whether on himself or on another person.
Oh my God! Wow!
Olivia also adds that he would need to have life points in order to use his skills, and how he would get those life points is by eating good food, or becoming rich, or doing something to satisfy himself on the opposite gender. Hearing this, Nor tells Olivia that she is asking him to do ridiculous things, but she announces to him that he would be a dead meat once his life points reach 0. Nor goes back home after testing out his creative skills, which makes him reduce his life points, but on getting home, he gets pampered by Alice, and this helps him gain more life points due to the satisfaction he got. The following afternoon, Nor waits for Emma as he decides to ask her for help so as to get his life points, but when she shows up, he becomes surprised as she emerges in a beautiful cloth which reveals her cleavage. Nor tells her his honest opinion about her dress, and she tells him of how she is aware of everyone looking at her giant cannons. He asks for a hug, and when she gives him a hug, he is able to feel her assets on his chest. After getting more life points, Nor proceeds to create a discerning eye skill, and while he tests it on Emma, she tells him how stiff her back is from carrying the load on her chest. Then Nor decides to use his skills to reduce her melons. Having realized that her chest is flat, Emma becomes angry, and Nor immediately regrets his actions as he immediately returns it back to its normal size. The next day, Nor goes to the Hero Academy, but on getting there, he sees Emma, who tells him that she has quit her job to be with him because they are friends. There they are told to form a team, but a lot of people do not want to associate themselves with Nor. But a lady named Lenore comes to meet Nor and Emma to become a team. The instruction given to them is to find rare materials which must be submitted to calculate their points. But when they are told to begin, Nor tells Emma he would look for the materials on his own. Later that day, Nor goes to the dungeon and decides to fight some monsters, but he is faced with a deadly Reaper, which he is able to defeat with his skills. Leaving the dungeon, he goes to meet Olivia with the skull of the Reaper, but she tells him it may not be of any help to him. When the results are being announced, Nor and his team members begin to worry as their name was not mentioned in the third and second place, but to their surprise, their names are mentioned as the first place because they brought the rarest materials. Nor goes to ask Olivia why she told him the skull wouldn't count, and she tells him the skull means nothing compared to the demons she had defeated. However, Nor takes the good news home and his family becomes excited until they all learn that there is an entry fee of 300,000 rels. Hearing the good news, Alice jumps on Nor as she tells him that she wants to get some of his luck, but Nor tells his family about the fee and they are to pay it within a week. Nor's father begins to cry as he tells Nor that he would not be able to provide the money, but Nor assures them that he would get the money. Nor goes to the dungeon to tell Olivia about the money, and she suggests that he fights more monsters and sell their rare materials, but Nor dismisses the idea as he tells her he does not want to attract more attention to himself after the entrance examination. He also tells her how he told Lenore to take credit for killing the Reaper as people would not believe that he was the one who killed it. Hearing this, Olivia advises that he should go work at the Adventurers Guild button. Getting to the guild, Nor becomes intimidated by a huge man at first, but he is saved by the attendant of the guild named Lola. Nor begins to look at Lola as he admires her privileged white skin and her huge melons, but Lola asks him if it is his first time at the guild. Lola begins to explain how the Adventurers Guild works and also tells him that he has to register by putting down his skills in a form, but Nor is so excited as he wonders why Lola smells so good. Seeing what Nor wrote about his skills, Lola tells him it is impossible for him to be Olivia's successor, as she brings out a discerning tone and tells Nor to place his hand on it so that she would be sure. Nor asks her what she is going to do if he is right, and she tells him she would lift her skirt up and tell him that she loves him.
Wait a minute!
Nor places his hand on the tone, and it reveals that he has Olivia's skills. At that moment, Lola raises her skirt to tell Nor that she loves him, and as Nor sees her underwear, his life points increase. Lola immediately gets down to business as she asks Nor about the quests he would like to take, and he replies that he needs to get the sum of 300,000 rels within a week. To start with, Lola shows him he would have to catch some rainbow grasshoppers, and as she tells her that he would take the task, she tells him he would be able to do it as he has the right skills to guide him. Also, she adds that she finds capable men attractive, which makes Nor shocked as she doubted him a few minutes before. Nor goes to find the grasshoppers, and before he uses his great sage ability, he wishes that Emma was with him so that he would be able to kiss her to stop his headache. But he improvised by creating headache immunity, and when he asks the sage tells him where the grasshoppers are. Nor captures the grasshoppers but suddenly hears his name, and when he checks, he sees Emma, who suddenly tries to hit him. But he dodges it and becomes excited as he has been waiting for her. He also becomes more excited as he sees how her melons are dangling.
Did you pray today?
Then she accuses him of breaking the promise they made to each other when they were small, and he apologizes for not telling her that he wants to become an adventurer and also bribes her with a kiss.
Yep.
Nor and Emma go back to the guild with the grasshoppers, and Lola gives Nor a reward of 250,000 rels. Then she goes close to him to tell him he is a fine man. On seeing this, Emma becomes angry and tells Nor that she would also become an adventurer too, so that she would be able to follow him on the quest. The two ladies begin to glare at each other, and when they begin to give each other reasons to be closer to Nor becomes embarrassed as he sees that the other adventurers in the guild are already staring at them. To settle this, he immediately tells the both of them what they wanted to hear, as he assured them not to make a side higher than the other. The ladies sit and Lola tells Nor that they should have dinner later, but Emma gets angry as she yells at Lola for trying to seduce Nor in her presence. Later that day, Emma and Nor set out to go and capture the huge monster-sized rabbit. On their way, Emma advises Nor to stay away from Lola, as she is planning to dissect him. The two friends are suddenly attacked by goblins, and as Emma tries to defeat them, the goblins get killed by the huge rabbit monster, and Emma tells Nor not to worry, as she would make sure she defeats the monster, because Lola would be all over him if he does all of the work. Emma uses all of her powers to try to defeat the rabbit, but realizes that she is unable to defeat it. Then Nor immediately distracts the rabbit while he takes Emma into hiding. Nor decides to use his powers to upgrade Emma's powers, but realizes that he does not have enough life points to do so. Then he asks Emma if he can nibble on her ear. Emma agrees, and as Nor begins to suck on her ears, she becomes uncomfortable and begins to make happy noises, and the noises attract the attention of the huge rabbit to where they are hiding. Nor hurries up to get enough life points and upgrades Emma's skills, enabling them to defeat the huge rabbit. Back at the guild, Nor reports that Emma took down the huge rabbit on her own, while Emma thanks Lola for giving her the opportunity to embark on the quest with Nor. That Nor announces that he has used his skills to teleport the dead rabbit, so that they would be able to eat it. The meat is however shared with the other adventurers as they throw a party on behalf of Nor, and when Lola gives him his payment, he is told to give a speech. After the speech, Nor tells himself he needs to thank Olivia for helping him. Fortunately, Nor and Emma are able to pay their enrollment fee, and they both enter the academy, but while they talk about how their lives would change, the daughter of Duke Albert, Maria, passes in front of them, and Emma immediately tells Nor to bow his head while she passes. Nor asks Emma who she is, and after being told that she is the daughter of the Duke, Nor decides to use his discerning eyes to check her skills. He becomes shocked as he tells Emma that Maria has a curse on her, and the cure is to kill her on her 16th birthday, which is not far. The following day, when they are supposed to start schoolwork, Alice tells Nor that she would try her best to enter the Hero Academy also the following year. Having left the house, Nor meets with Emma, and on their way to school, Emma suggests they have their greeting. Then they both go to a nearby bush and begin to kiss before heading to school. In school, they are all made to wear a badge that would show their rank, and as they enter their classroom, the students begin to ignore Nor as they notice that he is a lowlife, but pay attention to Emma. Suddenly, Maria enters the classroom with her friend Amain and notices Nor. She goes to greet him and recognizes him as part of the team that won first place in their entrance examination. Soon, they are told to go for their first class, and on getting there, the students are surprised at how strong their teacher is. The teacher introduces herself as Elma Stongs, and also tells them how she was a mercenary before she became a teacher. Elma tells the class she would be teaching them some defensive moves. She picks Nor to show them an example of what she wants to teach them, and tells him to try to attack her with his sword, but Nor becomes reluctant, and she tells him that he would not be able to scratch her. Hearing this, Nor uses his discerning eyes on her, and sees that she is at level 332, which makes her very strong. Nor immediately draws his sword, and before he is able to attack Elma, she immediately uses a skill to move away from Nor so as to avoid his attack. She calls the technique the backstep, that she tells Nor that she would try to attack him, and he should use the same technique she used. Scared, Nor tells her how strong she is, and she tells him how to avoid her, but while he is still thinking about what to do, she immediately attacks him, hitting him hard and making him fall down. Nor begins to cry because he is hurt, which makes Elma heals him and tells him to try it again. Then she tells the class that she would give anybody who is able to avoid her attack a prize they are sure to enjoy. However, Nor stands up, and when Elma tries to attack him again, he is able to do the back step. Since he won her, Elma gives him the prize as promised, and suddenly sits on his belly while rubbing her rice cakes over his mini sausage. Seeing this, the male students become jealous that Nor is having the time of his life, but Nor becomes uncomfortable as he yells in pain. After a while, Elma stands up and Noor realizes he had enjoyed every bit of what Elma did to him, and his life points increased. Then, Emma comes to meet him to ask if he is okay, as she is worried if he would start liking Elma's rice cakes instead of her freshly squeezed melons. Later, Elma tells the students they would have to pair up for their next lesson, but when she sees that Noor and Emma try to pair up, she instructs them not to, as they are dating, but Emma tells her they are not dating yet.
Wait a minute!
Elma also tells Maria and Amain not to pair up, which makes Maria go to meet Noor to be partners, and Emma, who is paired with Amain, becomes scared as she notices that Maria is getting close to Noor. Elma tells them to throw off each other, and Noor tells Maria to throw him off first, but he immediately creates a skill to make her do well, and when she throws him off, she suddenly becomes weak and falls down, making Noor stick his head in between her melons. Amain sees this, and they immediately carry Maria out of the training ground. Then, Noor uses his discerning eyes to check and sees that the curse is the one affecting her, and he begins to wonder if he can use his skills to edit the curse, but he sees that he would need 8,000 life points to do so. Then, he immediately uses the Great Sage skill to ask how he can get enough life points. The Great Sage tells him to line up all the girls, and he should start touching their melons one after the other, and if he is able to touch all of them, he would get 2,000 life points. Noor begins to have a huge headache, as he thinks that he would not be able to get the life points that way, but he goes to meet Emma and tells her that they should do their greeting, but when she tries to tell him how embarrassing it would be for them, Noor immediately kisses her. At that moment, Elma meets them and asks them if they know that they are in school.
Yep.
She immediately begins to chase Noor, as she tells him to run 15 laps around the school. After school, Noor and Emma go to the Adventurers Guild, but on getting there, Lola immediately runs away the moment she sees Noor, and the second attendant tells them that she went to fix her makeup because she was not expecting to see Noor. Noor talks to Lola about the curse and how he is planning to help Maria. She then tells him that she has a friend who is a cleric named Luna, but tells him that she does not know why Luna is hiding. There, Noor tells himself that he would use his skills to get rid of Luna's issues so that she would be able to heal Maria. Noor immediately stands up and he begs Lola to introduce him to the cleric so that they would be able to save Maria before the following week, because that is the day she is supposed to die according to the curse. In the next video, we'll see how Noor gained some new and impressive powers. Also, he meets Lola and Luna, who end up changing his life, yet providing him with more huge melons to feed on. At this time, Lola goes to the temple to see Luna, but on getting there, she meets her in a room resting because she is tired, as she has been healing people all day. She meets Luna and they both hug. Then Lola immediately tells her that she wants to discuss an important issue with her. Meanwhile, before meeting the cleric Luna, Noor decides to visit Olivia for some advice, but on getting to the dungeon, he notices that Olivia is angry because he did not visit her, to which he apologizes for, and he tells her about Maria and the curse. Olivia tells him to rely on the cleric, as she would be a part elf if she has the power to exorcise. Then Olivia begins to tease Noor, as she tells him that he would get a lot of life points if he does satisfying things with other species. Noor asks Olivia how he can get more points, and she begins to tell him nasty things that make him feel uncomfortable. Olivia tells Noor that she is only teasing him, but tells him there is a skill he can use to get lucky, and it is called Lucky Leather, which would make him gain more life points. Noor leaves the dungeon and meets Emma in the city, but as he tries to run toward her, he slips and ends up having his face in between her giant cannons. A sudden breeze also blows, and Noor begins to see the underwear of the ladies in the street. This makes his life points increase. Seeing this, he tells himself that is the lucky leather, and then he uses his editor skill to change the skill to make his luck seldom. Emma begins to yell at Noor as she asks him why he is smirking.
Yep.
Which he tries to explain to her, but unknown to them, Lola and Luna have arrived, and they are watching them while they argue. Luna tells Lola how cute she finds Noor to be, as well as adding that he is her type, but Lola yells at her to focus on what she is to do. Then Emma and Noor suddenly stop, and they both greet Luna, who tells them that they have a reservation for them to have lunch and discuss. Emma becomes sad as she sees that her only advantage against Luna is her huge melons, and she begins to blame herself for making Noor meet Luna. They get to the restaurant, and while eating, Noor tells Luna about the curse on Maria, which Luna reveals that she has met Maria before, but she is unable to lift the curse, because she cannot lift the 16-year-old curse. Noor becomes suspicious as he thinks Luna has a secret. He uses his discerning eyes to check and realizes that she can lift the curse, but her own lifespan would reduce. After eating, they all feel disappointed as they walk down the street. Then Luna suddenly tells them she would lift the curse, making Lola ask her why, as she had told them she does not have the skill. Nor immediately tells Emma and Lola that he would like to have a word with Luna in private, and they both step aside to talk, where he tells her that he knows her lifespan would reduce if she lifts the curse. Luna explains how her mother was also a cleric who devoted her life to saving people, and she wants to do the same. But suddenly while they talk, Luna and Nor hear a loud noise, and on getting there, they are told that a wall collapsed and a young boy is trapped under it. They are able to rescue the boy, and Luna heals the boy but loses her energy. After, Nora lifts her up as she begins to shiver and tells him she is scared of dying. When Nora checks, he realizes she has a QUALITY skill as well.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Lola takes Luna from Nor and begins to pat her head. Within a few minutes, Luna wakes up and becomes embarrassed, but still tries to put on a show that she would save Maria. Then, Nor tells her that she would not die because she would use his skills to edit the condition that her lifespan would not reduce. He tells them of how he would change it so that Luna's money and finances would reduce instead. Also, Nor tells them how he needs life points to use his skills, surprising them when they learn of how he gets his life points. Nor tells them they would have to make up enough money for Luna before lifting the curse, and he asks Lola if there is something they can think of that would get him 2,000 life points. Lola informs them that there is an event that would fetch them money and help Nor get life points at the same time. She tells them of an event called the Harem Pride event, which is held every weekend by a noble who has been rejected by his wife. That weekend, they all go to the Harem Pride event, where the audience are violent because they have all been treated badly by women. The event starts and each team showcases the women they have, and the audience would give harsh comments about them while the noble scores them. Nor becomes scared as he sees how harsh and angry the audience are, telling himself he has to go home. At the Duke's house, Maria wakes up in the middle of the night and begins to complain of chest pain. Then her friend Amin comes in and begins to sob as she prays that someone comes to save Maria from the curse for her not to lose her life. Meanwhile, at the Harem Pride event, Nor and the girls watch as other people get insulted by the audience. But Emma tells Nor that she wants to go home as she cannot take the insults. Lola tells Emma to go home as she would stay with Nor, but on hearing this, Emma gets angry and tells Nor she is strong and can take in the harsh insults from the audience. After a series of insults, a particular team emerges, and they have the highest score because they are able to captivate the audience. Lola tells Nor and the girls that they have to beat the team because they are from a neighboring adventurers guild. Nor begins to think of what will happen if they do not win, but he tells himself he would not lose his confidence. Soon, they are called to showcase their beauty, but Emma is scared. Nor immediately blows a little breeze in her ear and tells her that she would do great. Emma becomes confident and immediately jumps to the auditorium, where she introduces herself, and the audience are unable to talk as they all fix their eyes on her giant cannons as they jump rhythmically. The audience claps for Emma, and Luna also goes in to introduce herself, followed by Lola. While the three ladies talk, the audience becomes excited as they all beg to be closer to the ladies. The noble scores them and realizes that they are the winner. However, the noble tells them that before they can be given the prize, they must put on a show according to 3 categories, and the things must be done to the male in their group. The ladies hold a meeting without Nor, where they all decide and agree on what to do according to the 3 categories they are given. Nor sits like a little baby waiting to be attended to by his mother while the ladies talk. Suddenly, the noble announces the beginning of the show, and as he gives them the categories, they all act and become closer to Nor, who enjoys every bit of it. The audience also witness this, and they all become hysterical as they wish to be Nor. But at the end of the last category, the noble begins to cry as he longs for his wife and daughter, and gives them their prize of 1 million rels. Nor and the ladies run out of the arena excitedly as they win, but after celebrating for a while, they all head to the Duke's house to heal Maria before she dies. On getting to the mansion, they see Amin outside crying, as she tells them of how Maria had held the pain in her heart since she was small. She also adds that the curse was from a sorcerer who fought with her ancestor, and the curse affected her only. Amin informs Nor of how Maria was impressed when she found out that he was the one who took first in the entrance exam. After speaking to Amin, Nor and the ladies are escorted to Maria's room, where they find the Duke and his wife. Nor introduces himself and explains why he wants to save Maria, but the Duke and his wife remember Luna, who immediately explains why she could not save Maria before. Nor explains how they have devised a way to avoid Luna's death and also save Maria at the same time. Maria sits up weakly to thank Nor, as she also kisses him to show her appreciation as well.
Wait a minute!
Which angers Emma and Lola while they peep from the door. Then, Nor holds Maria's hand as he tells Luna to lift the curse. Luna lifts the curse, and after a few minutes, Maria feels better and everyone in the room becomes emotional after Nor tells them he has used his discerning eye skill to confirm if the curse is gone. Maria thanks Luna for helping her, and also tells Nor that she would spend the rest of her life repaying him. Nor and the ladies leave the mansion and Nor begins to feel excited as he is able to help Maria. But suddenly, he hears Emma and Lola telling each other that Maria has fallen for Nor. Just then, Luna also tells them she has fallen for Nor as well. The following day, Nor visits Olivia and explains how he and the girls were able to save Maria. But Olivia tells him that she is the only one who has not gotten a kiss from him. Olivia tells him that he owes her, because he would not be able to save Maria without the powers she gave him. Then, Nor goes closer to Olivia and gives her a kiss on the forehead. Olivia becomes dissatisfied and tells Nor that he should learn more and come and give her another kiss later. Later on, after healing Maria, Nor and the girls get 100 million rels each, causing them to be excited. Then, Luna tells them that she would use her own money to fix up her clinic, but Nor wonders what to do with his own. Emma suddenly suggests that he uses his money to open a shop so that he would be able to sell rare monster materials, just like they discussed before. Lola immediately interrupts Emma and tells her that Nor needs her accounting and calculating skills because Emma's melons cannot do calculations. Emma becomes angry about this, but Luna tells the two girls to stop arguing as she would be with Nor instead. Hearing this, the girls begin to get angry at each other. Then, Nor tells them that he would see them later and immediately leaves. Nor takes the money home and explains how he got it to his family, and they all congratulate him. Alice asks Nor what he would use the money for, and he tells her he does not know yet. Then, Nor's father tells Nor that he would not let him be the only breadwinner in their family. He suggests to Nor that he should keep the money with him, but Nor tells him he is aware that his father would squander the money in the casino. Nor then tells his family that he wants to open a shop, and he would be in charge of collecting the goods to sell, but his father asks him to hire him, which he agrees but adds that his father should take care of the paperwork for the government. Then Alice tells Nor that she would keep an eye on their father so that he would not pocket the money. Later, Nor visits the dungeon to conquer more floors, but on getting to where Olivia is, he calls her and she does not respond. Then he begins to run his hands from her hands to her armpit, but he stops when he touches her beautiful melons, and she makes a happy noise. Olivia tells Nor that she is pretending for him, because he did not come and greet her. Then he apologizes for that and tells her of his intention to conquer more parts of the dungeon, so as to have materials to sell in his new shop. Olivia suggests that Nor uses his skill to create a dungeon elevator skill, so that he would be able to conquer more parts of the dungeon. She also recommends a skill called Blinding Light, so as to help him defeat more monsters by making them blind. Hearing this, Nor gets the skills and decides to test the Blinding Light skill. Then he forgets to close his eyes and Olivia makes fun of him as she calls him a klutz. Nor explores the dungeon and after getting nothing in the second and third floor, he proceeds to the fifth floor and suddenly sees some dead monsters and animals. But he walks further and he senses a presence. Suddenly, Nor sees a huge pitch-black lion with a growing tulip in its head. He tries to use his discerning eyes, but he does not get any information about the lion. He uses his Blinding Light skill and tries to escape with his elevator skills. But as he is about to run away, the lion talks and tells him that it wants to speak with him.
Oh my god! Wow!
Nor becomes surprised as the lion tells him that he has good skills for him to be able to get to that part of the dungeon. Also, the lion tells Nor he needs to help him to look for someone on the 6th floor, and he would give him a ride in return. While riding towards the 6th floor, the lion tells Nor that his name is Tegerson, and he is named by his friend whom he is trying to look for on the 6th floor. On getting to the 6th floor, Tegerson tells Nor of how he and his friend had entered the dungeon years ago, but his friend told him to stay on the 5th floor while he conquered the 6th floor on his own. Nor asks Tegerson how many years he had spent waiting for his friend, and he answers that he has waited for 350 years. Tigerson continues to tell Noor that his friend named Vashel is an elf, and he had promised to wait for him on the 5th floor because he believes that a promise to a friend is absolute. Noor agrees to help Tigerson. Then he enters the 6th floor but realizes how dark it is, and he immediately uses his life point to create a night vision skill. Suddenly, Noor sees a figure, and when the figure comes closer, he realizes it is a zombie, but when he uses his discerning eyes, he sees that it is a sextuple zombie.
Yep.
Noor tries to run for his life, but realizes that the zombies are many and notices that the zombies are dividing their body parts into 6 while chasing him. Noor fortunately is able to enter a room and closes the door behind him. Then he hears another voice, which when he checks, he sees another zombie but notices that the zombie is different from the ones he had seen before. Noor immediately recognizes the zombie as Vashel and realizes that he must have been infected by the zombies. However, Noor heals Vashel and tells him of how Tigerson had sent him to look for him. Vashel becomes sad as he feels sorry for wasting Tigerson's time out of his little lifespan. Then he proceeds to tell Noor how he met Tigerson and randomly gave him a name which he fell in love with. Vashel decides to meet Tigerson, and when they get outside the 6th floor, Tigerson and Vashel hugs each other, and Vashel tells Tigerson that they should give up conquering the dungeon as he would love to go back to his hometown where his lover might still be waiting for him. Tigerson accepts, and they both escort each other to the entrance of the dungeon, followed by Noor. On getting outside, Vashel reminds Tigerson how he would not be accepted in his homeland, and Tigerson agrees to let him go back home. Vashel thanks Noor and Tigerson before leaving for his hometown. Outside, Tigerson tells Noor that he has to go back into the dungeon because he has forgotten something. Noor goes back to the 5th floor because Tigerson looks suspicious, and when he gets there, he sees Tigerson crying because of his friend Vashel leaving him. Noor feels sorry for Tigerson and asks to be his friend, telling him he would take him to his house, which Tigerson agrees to, and they both ride home. On getting home, Noor's father becomes scared of the talking huge beast Noor has brought home, but Alice and their mother are fine with it. While Noor's mother tells them that she would make a huge dinner, Alice plays with Tigerson. While Noor's father asks Noor why the lion has a tulip on his head, and Noor tells him that the tulip is the lion's sausage. Alice begins to play with the tulip on Tigerson's head, making him begin to feel on top of the world. But Alice continues to rub the tulip in a style that Tigerson suddenly roars.